Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Oak Park High School for Week 4 of the 2020 MHSAA football season and the Detroit Free Press Game of the Week. Tonight, two teams of a lot of talent square off in an Oakland Activities Association Red Division matchup. Get ready for an exciting one because it's the Southfield Arts and Technology Warriors heading east on I-696 to take on the Oak Park Knights. I'm Alex Johnson, along my partner tonight, Aaron Johnson. Both of these teams have started on a tough path to begin this season, but tonight is a great opportunity to find momentum as the playoffs are only a few weeks away. As Oak Park is going to kick it off to the Warriors to begin. This one is going to go into the end zone, but it's going to go out, so it's not a touchback, but the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line.
Alex, this should be a very good game tonight, a rivalry game for both of these schools. You look at it and you say, well, neither team's won a game yet. Southfield A&T at 0-2 and Oak Park at 0-3, but you have to look, there's a lot of talent on both sides of the field in this one. We've had injuries. Obviously last week, Southfield A&T unable to play due to a COVID-19 outbreak across the program. So these are two good teams that haven't been able to get a win under the belt, haven't been able to find their rhythm yet this year. But for one of these teams, this could very well be the game that turns their season around. A win today lets you build momentum with a couple weeks left before the state playoffs begin, and hopefully is able to put you on a good track with these two programs that we know have talent.
Starting off with the running back, Darnell Adams. He's looking over to the right side, breaks through one defender before stepping out of bounds near the 40-yard line. Warriors are led by their freshman quarterback, Isaiah Marshall.
Marshall, Alex, a young quarterback for the Southfield A&T team. You can tell that there's a lot of talent in that 5'11" offers from Michigan, Kentucky, Maryland, and Florida Atlantic. That list will only grow as he ages with this Southfield A&T program, but very talented as a freshman, leading this group.
He was looking to build on as he continues to grow and develop during this time at Southfield. Is this one? He throws it quickly over to his wide receiver, Davon Young, but the Knights were able to put a hand on that pass, and it's going to be 3rd down and 9 at the 36-yard line.
Marshall was looking for a quick screen pass off the snap, and great coverage by Oak Park. Young getting in the way of that.
Just a few seconds in to this contest here tonight. 3rd down and 9 for Southfield A&T. Going to hand it off this time to Jeffrey Bowens. Looking to get past the 1st down and more before he gets pushed out of bounds near midfield. And the Warriors will move the chains. The senior can play any position in the offensive line as there is a wide receiver or running back, but Bowens able to break through the 1st down marker and keep the drive going.
Yeah, that's a nice conversion there after being unable for Marshall to complete his first pass of the game. You get some movement on the ground, you move the chains, and it helps you just kind of settle in on a nice brisk after evening. You know, it's a little 6 o'clock start, not as early as, or not as late as most games start across the state, but a 6 o'clock start. It's still nice and sunny out. It's a little bit warmer out.
Darnell Adams on the run before he gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle by the defensive lineman Eric Allison of the Knights. So no gain on that one. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Ball at the 45-yard line. Hand off again to Adams. Looking over to his left. Has space. Looking to get some room. One tackle to beat. But gets brought down. Nice tackle. A saving play. But a junior defensive end, Jalen Stevens.
And Adams made his decision to cut to the inside instead of trying to continue towards the out-of-bounds line and continue up that path. He decided to try to cut inside and was brought down by the last man back for Oak Park. What could have been 6, but a great save by the Oak Park defense after letting up a large chunk of yards.
1st down and 10 again This time at the 36-yard line of Oak Park. Looking to pass over, gets it to his man, stays on his feet before it gets brought down. That's Devon Young again.
And Young, he played at Oak Park last season, transferring this year over to Southfield A&T. The junior wideout with offers from Akron, Toledo, Iowa State, Kentucky, and Southern Mississippi, among others. So you know that this has, especially as a rivalry game, this one has a little bit more meaning for him, but for Oak Park as well, as he left the program just this year. So there's definitely going to be some bad blood between those two. No two sides in that regard, no doubt.
Yeah. Ball before the snap, we have a flag on the field after a 10-yard pickup. And they're going to call an offsides against Oak Park. Going to move the ball 1st and 5 to the 21-yard line of the Knights.
And when we were here for their game against West Bloomfield, we saw a lot of flags, a lot of penalties in that contest, for Oak Park. So, you know, something that's going to have to improve for them in this game and throughout the year is they're going to have to limit penalties, giving up free yards that you never can afford to give up.
Bowens looking over to his right, able to get some good movement. Not enough yardage on that play.
Bowens on the carry, out of bounds.
He was brought out of bounds by Charles Gillespie, the junior defensive back.
And penalties were a problem for Southfield A&T in their last game they played as well, which was another loss to West Bloomfield. But you know, both of these teams have had their issues with penalty flags, so hopefully in this game both sides are able to kind of quell those issues and minimize the laundry on the field.
2nd down and 6 at the 22-yard line for the Warriors. Marshall in the shotgun, looking to throw, hesitant for a second, still looking, flag down, just runs out of bounds. And we'll see what the call is here. They're going to call a holding against the Warriors. Going to move the ball back 10 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 16.
Holding on the offense, that's a 10-yard penalty.
Penalties for both sides on this opening drive. Well, I'm interested to see how the penalties factor into this game, because that could very much sway the decision of this game for one of these teams. If one of these teams is able to play a little bit more disciplined, one of these teams is going to get their first win of the year.
So 2nd down and long for the Warriors.
At the 40-yard line.
So Marshall's back, looks back to throw, has time in the pocket. Nice deflection on the play. Jalen Stevens again making a huge defensive play. Marshall was looking to his left side, looking to throw deep down the field, but Stevens denies it.
Yeah, it's a great defensive play, and that's why you always have coaches saying you got to get your arms up. You got to put your arms up. Give yourself an opportunity, and right there he does it and swats it down for an incomplete pass.
Now 3rd and long coming up for Marshall and the Warriors. Warriors were supposed to play last week at home versus Lake Orion, but were not able to last week, so we're going to come back into play for the first time in 2 weeks. As Marshall, quick pass over to Robert Army. Army gets some space before he gets brought down at the 30-yard line. It's a senior wide receiver known as the #1 target for this team. Iowa State commit as well, so a lot to be recognized for him.
And it looks like the Warriors are going to keep their offense out on the field here for 4th down.
4th down and 19 at the 30-yard line.
And this is not, you know, a short 4th and 1, 4th and 2, even 4th and 5. This is 4th and 19. You know, so they're obviously showing that they're going to keep the offense out on the field. They don't necessarily trust a kicking unit in this kind of a situation. And, you know, they're going to say, look, we're either going to get the first down or they're going to start with the ball at their own 30-yard line. It's not like they're going to be in a great position anyway. So I like this decision here by the Warriors, being aggressive, taking a chance.
Under 9 minutes to go in the opening quarter. 4th and long. Marshall, plenty of time. Still looking over to his right. Gonna throw. That one is gonna be caught before he gets brought down. That's Anthony Davis, the senior wide receiver. He gets tackled by Charles Gillespie. We're gonna see if it's enough for the first down. He's down at the 9-yard line, and it's gonna be 1st and goal.
Yeah, he got past the first down marker by just a pair of yards there, but nonetheless, the 4th down conversion is good for the Warriors, and they're inside the 10-yard line pushing towards the end zone on their opening drive.
That was a huge conversion there by the Warriors. Able to keep the drive alive, because that's not an easy play on 4th down.
No, absolutely not. A lot of pressure, and in the back, Marshall was facing pressure. He rolled out and made a great throw to keep the drive alive.
Adams stopped at the line of scrimmage, gets tackled on the play that time by the linebacker Robert Smith and the defensive lineman Alex Jones of Oak Park.
Pick up 1 yard on the play.
So 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line with under 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. The first drive of the game for either side. But knocking on the door are the Warriors here. Gonna hand it off to Adams. Able to get some space. Looks like he's a yard short. Making the tackle that time. Helping out was Robert Smith and Eric Allison. Ball's going to be spotted at the 2-yard line for a 3rd and goal.
Yeah, and we'll see here on 3rd down what the philosophy is going to be for the Warriors. Are they going to keep it on the ground, or are they going to let Marshall operate, drop back, and throw? And we've seen him, get the ball, and when he's throwing a lot of short passes, screen passes. We'll see if they try to get a quick one here, or if they're going to continue to push it through on the ground.
Looks like they're in the goal line set with one running back behind. They're going to hand it off to the running back that time, Javin Jones. Looks like he's short, and it's going to be 4th and goal. They're going to say he lost a couple yards, so it's 4th and goal at the 4-yard line. And it looks like the field goal unit is coming out. The senior kicker, Kyle Arnold. This kick is going to be from 21 yards away.
Yeah, this kick a little bit more manageable than what would have been about a 41-yard field goal attempt on that 4th and 19.
High snap, but the kick is away. And this one is good. So the Warriors get on the board first and have a 3-0 lead over the Knights of Oak Park with 5:51 to go here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, about a 6-minute drive for the Warriors. It results in 3 points, and if you're Oak Park, certainly you're not happy that you gave up any points, but a nice goal line stand for the defense on 3rd down to hold the Warriors from getting into the end zone. And yes, they gave up 3, but the defense will at least look and say, hey, we were able to keep them from getting into the end zone in that regard. Let's get our offense on the field and let's let them get to work.
Yeah, absolutely, Aaron. Well, we have a second. Tonight's Detroit Free Press Game of the Week is presented by Detroit Public Schools Community District. Every school day counts for our children's academic, social, and emotional development. Detroit Public Schools Community District is preparing students for their rise and is safely providing face-to-face learning and online learning at home or in a learning center. Enroll today. Visit DetroitK12.org or call 313-240-4377. Remember, when students rise, we all rise. So Kyle Arnold is going to kick it off for the Warriors. Back deep for the Knights is Vawana Miller, as well as Keyshawn Jackson. This one, though, is going to be caught for a fair catch at about the 33-yard line by Charles Gillespie. And now here come the Oak Park Knights offense. They're led by their senior quarterback, James Burnley.
And I'll be interested to see how this Oak Park offense looks. And you look at what they've done throughout the season. They're not a high-scoring offense. Obviously, they went scoreless in Week 1 in their matchup against West Bloomfield. In Week 2, put up just 6 points in a 38-6 loss to Lake Orion. And last week, lost 14-13 at Oxford. So the offense has not been high-octane this year, but certainly you'd like to get that going a little bit more. And tonight presents an opportunity for the Knights in that regard.
So Davion Prim, the running back, gets the first carry of the game for the Oak Park offense. Gets brought down on the play by Caleb Banks. A top defensive lineman for the Southfield team. And he gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle by Banks, and he's tackled for a loss. Able to make those kind of plays, get to the running back very quickly like he did. Not allowed to get any room on that one.
Yeah, and no Oak Park lineman stepped in front of Banks there, and the Arizona commit just able to swallow up Prim for a loss of yards.
3rd down and 11.
And after a long opening drive for Southfield A&T, they're looking quickly at a 3rd down and long for Oak Park on their opening possession in what has been a drive that's lasted just over a minute and a half.
So Burnley's back as 4 wide receivers. And it looked like the Warriors jumped, as you can see, but we'll see what the call is. And they're going to call offsides against the Warriors. That's going to make it 3rd and 6. Ball's going to be placed at the 42-yard line.
And this makes 3rd down much more manageable if you're Oak Park.
Clock's running at 4:06 left here in the first. It's a 3-0 lead for the Warriors over the Knights here in the opening quarter. Burnley's back, looking to throw over the middle, off the hands of Keyshawn Jackson, the senior wide receiver. The junior defensive back, Maxwell Wagstaff, able to put pressure on that pass.
It wasn't a bad throw by Burnley. I think, it was a little bit high, and Jackson didn't get a jump on it until he was a little late to it and wasn't able to haul it in. But it wasn't a bad look by Burnley.
So 4th down coming up for Oak Park. They're going to have to punt it away. Keyshawn Jackson's going to punt back to return. Robert Army for Southfield. This one's a nice kick. He's calling for a fair catch. And it will be caught at the 25-yard line. And the Warriors come back out on offense with 3:51 to go in the first. Got some other matchups going around here tonight. Clarkston and Lake Orion, another OAA matchup up in Lake Orion tonight. Oxford and West Bloomfield, that's another contest that both teams will be looking at very closely this evening.
Well, that's the thing with the shortened season now. Every week there's going to be a plethora of great matchups between 2 very good schools. And, every year there's a lot of talent within the state of Michigan, and this year is no exception.
Marshall was looking to throw over the Bowens. This was short and incomplete. Didn't have enough on that one. If we up 2nd down and 10, balls could be spotted at their own 26-yard line with 3:44. Here in the first. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Adams with the carry. Able not to get many yards on that play. James Blaylock, the sophomore, able to make the tackle.
Pick up a 1 on the play.
And it's 3rd down and 9 at the 27 for Southfield A&T. Marshall talking over with his coach on the sideline. Here on this 3rd and 9 play.
Yeah, we'll see if they opt to get Marshall the ball in a drop back situation.
He's in the shotgun with 3 minutes to go. He gets it off. Pressure, looking to throw deep down the field. That one in and out of the hands of Jeffrey Bowens. Could have been a huge play, but instead it's 4th down.
Yeah, the outreaching arms of Bowens unable to snag that in. Not a bad throw, just a little bit far out in front. And Bowens unable to haul in and extend the drive.
Yeah, he was wide open on. He had a lot of space as well if he would have made the catch.
He had his matchup beat. You know, it was a foot race to the ball, and if Bowens would have hauled it in, he might have went the distance.
So Marshall is going to punt it away. Able to get it off. Back to return is the junior Glennie Cross. He's going to let this one go out of bounds around the 28-yard line. And now Oak Park will come back out onto the field.
And after a quick first drive, they'll look to hold on to the football a little bit longer here for their second drive of the day. And kind of in a reverse situation for the Warriors after about a 6-minute drive to begin the game for them. A drive that lasted just about a minute for them. There had them punting the ball away on 4th down.
Oak Park going to get back out onto the field. They're going to call a personal foul after the play, so that's going to move the ball back. Ball spotted at the 21-yard line. The ball was out of bounds at the 28. Burnley calling the play. This one going to be handed off down on the play. Prim was able to get more touches and some more carries over the last 2 games.
Yeah, he had a quiet week 1 against West Bloomfield, but got some more touches, had some more room to work with in weeks 2 and weeks 3, and as a Michigan State commit, you expect him to have a big impact every time he steps out on the field for Oak Park. So we'll hopefully be able to get to see him get going here sooner rather than later.
He had a 100-yard game in week 2 with a touchdown against Lake Orion. And nothing that time as a swarm of Warriors were able to get to the line of scrimmage. Ball carrier was Sakuni Watson, the junior that time. So 3rd down here with 1:35 to go in the opening quarter. It's a 3-0 lead for the Warriors after a field goal. They converted on their first drive of the game. Third and 10. And early movement again at the line. And they're going to call a false start on Oak Park. And it's going to be 3rd and 15 at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, but it was already a tough third down situation to be in for Oak Park. Just got a little bit tougher. They're now 5 yards back from where they were about to snap the ball off from.
15-yard line.
Pinned deep into their own territory.
Approaching the final minute of this first quarter. Burnley back. Looking over to his right. Going to throw. That one is going to be incomplete. Jackson, the intended receiver.
Good coverage by Davion Young.
He was able to get to Jackson quickly and deflect that pass, and it's now 4th down for Oak Park.
On defensive backs that can win their one-on-one matchups are oh so valuable, and Young right there, tasked in a man-to-man coverage, does his job and deflects the ball out of the hands of the Knights.
Jackson gets this one away. Fair catch called by Davon Young at around the 45-yard line with 21 seconds to go here in the first.
46-yard line.
The Warriors looking to add on to this 3-0 lead they have. Clear skies here tonight. Very few clouds in the air. Marshall looking to change the play. He gets it. Fakes the run, keeps it for himself, but gets brought down by Stevens again. He wasn't sure what he wanted to do. He thought he wanted to go play action, but decided to keep it for himself, and he's brought down for a loss.
Yeah, good wrap-up by Stevens. Keeping his eye on the football there, and what was an option kind of play for Southfield A&T, and he's able to wrap up Marshall for a loss.
And that's going to end the first quarter of play. It's a 3-0 lead for the Southfield A&T Warriors over the Oak Park Knights. A 6-minute drive by the Warriors that resulted in a field goal. And then Oak Park looking to move the ball on offense, but we're not able to. Both teams will talk it over before we begin the second quarter.
Yeah, a slow start to this one after the opening drive field goal from the Warriors, and neither side since has really been able to muster much on the offensive side of the field. So we'll see if that changes here in the second quarter. Teams kind of settle in and get it going.
And absolutely. Before we continue, this broadcast is brought to you by the Detroit Free Press, your flagship news and information source for sports in Michigan. The Free Press has launched a new digital subscription model, which gives high school sports fans exclusive access to Mick McCabe's weekly columns, rankings, and predictions. Your support will help the Free Press stream high school football games all season long. Subscribe today at freep.com for our latest promotional offer. Second quarter about to begin. Ball is going to be at the 43-yard line for a 2nd and 12 as both teams change sides. Marshall steps back, looking to throw deep down the field, and that one incomplete, too far for Darnell Adams on his left side.
And that would have been 6 for Adams and the Warriors if Marshall would have been able to throw that one in a little bit of a easier area for Adams to bring it in, but just too far out in front. And Southfield A&T is now looking at 3rd down.
So 3rd down and 12. The Knights looking to make a stop. Four wide receivers out. Steps back to throw in the shotgun. Looking to throw. Looked like it was deflected, but it doesn't matter. And they're going to say incomplete, though. It was caught by Army, but they're going to say his feet was not in bounds.
Yeah, that one was close, and we saw the sideline for Oak Park begging for the sideline official to call that an incomplete pass, say his feet were out of bounds, and they got that call on what was a very close play and what would have resulted in a first down for the Warriors. They're now facing fourth down.
They're going to have to sud this one away. As Cross is back for the Knights. Able to get this one off. Nice distance this time, as this one's going to go bounce all the way into the end zone for a touchback. An extra activity called after the play, as Devin Buskett, the sophomore, was by the Oak Park sideline.
Yeah, and you don't want these extracurriculars to come into play in this game. But we have a flag, and we'll see what the officials have to say. Oak Park sideline was incredibly animated there after it was number 26, Devon Buskin, who was over in the sideline area of the Knights. The officials still talking. We'll see what they'll say.
So a personal foul will be called on the Warriors as well as the Knights. So they're going to offset those penalties.
Personal foul on both teams. They'll offset the penalty.
The ball will be placed at the 20-yard line. After the kick went into the end zone. 11:42 to go here in the second quarter. Oak Park gets back out on offense as they're down 3-0 to the Warriors of Southfield Arts and Technology. So Burnley has two running backs, one on each side. And one person in the backfield for the Warriors, that's Army.
And the offense has really yet to get much going, both on the ground and in the air for the Oak Park Knights. And, you know, you have to look and say, well, the offensive line is not done the greatest job in this game. The defensive line has certainly been able to get to the backfield quickly against the Knights.
Right at the line of scrimmage on the play. That time, Prim was not able to get to that one.
No gain on the play.
He was stopped at the line. And we saw that against West Bloomfield. The defense not giving him much space to work with.
And, you know, if you're Oak Park, certainly some of the struggle has to do without having Rashawn Benny out on the field, top player for their program, and commanding numerous offers, Division I offers across the country. Certainly doesn't help to have out the number 6 ranked player in the state of Michigan. But
that one was complete, but there's another flag down on the play. As Jackson made that play. And they're going to call a face mask against the Warriors. And both of these teams been called for many penalties so far here in this game. Making plays like that just gives the other team momentum.
yeah, you never want to give up free yards, and for an offense that really hasn't been able to get anything going to give them a new set of downs to work with, certainly not ideal for the Warriors.
Now the ball is placed out to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10. Handoff, this time to Jackson. He gets brought down in the back. Army made that tackle, leading the charge and bringing them down.
That was a big hit, too. Oak Park decided to bring it to the outside, and Army just blows it up.
Also block 5 on the play.
Bring up 2nd down
Now, the 32-yard line.
and 15 at the 32. And Army can do a lot on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, he's a playmaker. You know, he's headed to Iowa State, regarded as someone that can make plays on both sides of the field. Had an interception last week against West Bloomfield, and certainly a talented wide receiver. So a lot of talent for him on both sides. Incredible young player.
4 out here. Burnley, a lot of time, has to throw quickly. That pass is going to be complete to Gillespie. He gets past the 45 to the 40. And that's a great play actually by Corey Alford, who made that catch. But still, it's a 1st down.
Oak Park 1st down.
And we'll see if Oak Park can capitalize here and start to build momentum on this drive. A nice pass there. The chains move again. And all of a sudden, you can start to feel the energy from the sideline. Start to rev up a little bit.
9 minutes to go here before halftime. 3-0 lead for the Warriors over the Knights. Here in our Detroit Free Press game of the week. We're glad to have you with us. Burnley. And early movement again by the Warriors.
That's going to be on the edge rusher Banks. And, well, you know, that's kind of the gamble you take as someone that likes to get into the backfield quickly. And you get those sacks, you get those tackles for the loss. But other times you're going to get an offsides and you're going to jump early. That's just kind of the gamble that's kind of comes with the territory with a player like Banks.
1st down and 5. Killian Reed, the sophomore running back, gets stopped at the line of scrimmage that time.
Reed on the carry. Also 2 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd down.
A tackle that time
Yard line.
by Banks again. Also give credit to the sophomore Devin Waller.
Hey, look at their line after we keep running the ball. Look where they at.
So under 8 to play here in this 1st half. And looks like we have early movement by the Knights this time. Is this going to be a false start call
5-yard penalty.
on the sophomore offensive lineman Amari Washington?
And you never want to give yards back. You know, you're trying to build some momentum.
That 3.5.
2nd down and 12 at the 33-yard
So 7.5 to go in the half.
line.
Still 3-0 Southfield A&T over Oak Park. It's going to be 2nd down and 12 at the 43-yard line. Burnley steps back to throw, looking over to his right. That one incomplete. Intended receiver was Darrell Oliver Mims, the junior wide receiver. Nice coverage by the junior defensive back, Detrell Respress. Able to play tight coverage on him, not allowing him to get easy access to the ball. And it's 3rd down.
Yeah, he was double covered there. as he ran his route towards the end zone. Southfield A&T well covered on that play, doing a good job.
3rd down and long. Burnley going to decide to run and slide at the 40-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
And you're looking at a 4th and 9 for Oak Park.
Looks like they're going to punt it away. Jackson looking to send this one. Army back. Really want to get it inside the 10, maybe inside the 5 maybe. See Army back at the 10. With 6:23 to go. Gets it off, has plenty of time. This one, look at the bounce to the 10. Actually going to go to the 12 for Sakuni Watson. Touches it. And the Warriors come back out on offense.
Yeah, and we'll see how the Warriors look here. And, they marched down the field on their first drive of the game and have since been pretty quiet, and their time on the field offensively has been cut rather short. So we'll see if the offense is able to kind of rev the engines up and get going again. And I kind of thought that was going to be Oak Park's first score of the game. They were moving up the field, but then the false start, the penalty, kind of set them back and halted any momentum that they were building. But we'll see if the defense come back out and get another stop, which they've done a nice job on that end.
Well, this one's going to go all the way to the back. Marshall able to keep it in play, has to throw it away, but able to keep it that time was Zavon Young, has some space before he gets brought down at the 28-yard line. Making the tackle was Joshua Flake. Looked like that was going to be a safety for a second, but Marshall somehow, some way, survived it and got out of it.
And that's a huge missed opportunity for Oak Park. Marshall was real close to the out-of-bounds line in the back of the end zone, and he's somehow able to scamper outside and get rid of the football. And not only is it not an incomplete pass or not a tackle for loss, it's a first down and a big chunk of yards for the Southfield A&T offense.
The carry that time by Javin Jones gets past the 30, near the 34-yard line. And that was a huge play. There was some miscommunication. Marshall wasn't looking. He saw the ball almost going to the back of the end zone, had to get to it in time, and able to throw it away in time, and able to find his receiver. That's not an easy play.
No, it's not, and that's why Oak Park sideline is kicking themselves for giving up that kind of an opportunity.
2nd down. Jones again gets brought down after a few yards. Maybe 1 on that play. James Blaylock gets credited for the tackle. Third down and 5 at the 34 coming up. 5 minutes to go here in this first half of play. Still 3-0 in favor of the Warriors here in this OAA red matchup. Marshall back in the shotgun formation. 4 wide receivers. 2 on each side. Now calling the play. They're going to hand it off to Adams. He has space all by himself. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. He's going all the way into the end zone. And it's going to be a touchdown for the Warriors. Darnell Adams just blew by everyone for 66 yards. It looked like Army was going to get it, but they fooled everyone and gave it to Adams, and he was all alone and just flew by everyone. And it's 9-0 in favor of Southfield A&T.
Adams broke through a gap on the right side of his line and had no one tracking him. He had plenty of space to get into the end zone unscathed. And Southfield A&T with a big score to create some separation in this contest.
Arnold is going to kick the extra point. He made a 21-yard field goal earlier. That time the kick is away, and it's good. And it's 10-0 in favor of the Warriors with 4:27 to go in the first half. They were able to get out of what was almost a safety, but kept the drive going, and it resulted in a touchdown a few plays later. That will be the turning point of that possession.
Well, and that's what really makes it hurt for Oak Park is they were looking at what could have been a safety and them getting the ball back down just a point, 3-2, but Marshall able to get to it before it goes out of bounds, and before being taken out of bounds was able to get rid of it and complete a pass for a first down and get away from his own end zone. I mean, a huge swing in what has been a very close contest.
We'll see what Oak Park does to respond. Well, we have a second. Tonight's Detroit Free Press Game of the Week is presented by Detroit Public Schools Community District. Every school day counts for our children's academic, social, and emotional development. Detroit Public Schools Community District is preparing students for their rise and is safely providing face-to-face learning and online learning at home or in a learning center. Enroll today. Visit DetroitK12.org or call 313-240-4377. Remember, when students rise, we all rise. And the Warriors look like they're going to kick it off as the Knights looking to get on the board before halftime, trailing 10-0 here in this one.
Well, and certainly still time, just about 4.5 minutes left in the half, but Oak Park offense has to show some life here.
Arnold, short kick that time, and they're going to call a fair catch by Gillespie.
And there was a flag.
That's back near the 20-yard line. We're not going to give Jackson any chance to return it. Officials talking it over. And looks like they're going to pick up the flag. First down and 10 at the 32-yard line. Oak Park comes back out. Burnley. Hands off to Prim. Prim looking to find his way through before he gets brought down. He lost the ball at the end, but they're going to say he was down. The senior defensive lineman, Abdul Jabbar, made the tackle. Another key anchor for the Southfield A&T defense. He's able to get there quick on that one. He's committed to play football at the University of Akron for next season.
And you look at the way that Southfield A&T packs the box.
Has to throw it quickly away. Burnley was looking for Amari Harris, the senior wide receiver. But you could see Jabbar leading the way once again.
When you look at how Southfield A&T packs the box, and your Oak Park, whose offensive line has certainly had their struggles throughout the year, they have not done a good enough job protecting and giving time to the backfield to make plays. And so what Southfield A&T is doing is they're sending a lot of guys, putting a lot of pressure, and what they're doing is they're not letting Prim have any space, have any opportunities to get going on the ground. And at the same time, they're making Burnley throw the football, but they're making him make quick decisions. And under pressure, Burnley has not had, a large amount of great throws. A lot of his throws have been rushed and without space and without time for his receivers to run their route. So this defense for Southfield A&T has just done a phenomenal job in this contest.
And Oak Park is going to call a timeout with 3:37 to go here in the half. It's going to be 3rd down and 8 for them at the 35-yard line. They want to talk things over, want to move the football. They will get the ball first to begin the second half, though. But they want to be able to get something on the board before the first half ends.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You know, you want to try to seize momentum heading into the halftime break. You want to be able to score here, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, and then you get the ball to start the second half. You know, whether you take the whole full 3:37 left in this half or not, you want to put the points up on the board some way, somehow. And that's very important for this team before going into halftime. Yes, they're going to get the ball to start the second half, but you don't bring any momentum. You go into the halftime down 10-0, no points up on the board. It's a lot different than saying, hey, you know, maybe we didn't get the full 7, but we got our first 3 points up. That pressure's taken off of our shoulders. We're going to get the ball back. Let's go out there. Let's do what we just did, and let's do it even better.
Third down, 8 coming up. Ball at the 35-yard line for Burnley. Sides to pass it, faked it out originally. He completes it over to Watson. No gain as it was caught at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to bring a 4th down. But before that, the Warriors will take their first time out to stop the clock, give them enough time to move the football down the field at 3:27.
And they're trying to preserve time here, and they want to put their offense back out on the field one more time this half, especially after the drive that they just had and the momentum that they were able to gain. They're taking this time out to preserve the clock, and if they're able to hold their ground, they're going to have plenty of time to put the offense back out on the field for one more drive.
So Jackson's going to punt this one away. Army is back to return. He's at the 40 in Southfield territory. Almost deflected that one by the Warriors defense. Goes out of bounds at the 44-yard line. And the Warriors will head back out onto the field with 3:19 to go here in this first half. At the 66-yard run by Adams. That was the difference maker in that possession.
No, it certainly was, Alex, and Adams able to break free, and you know the line doing a good job giving that Warrior offense an opportunity in time to make a read and get going. And you know that's what the Oak Park line has not done, is they haven't been able to give enough time to the quarterback, to the running backs, to be able to get going and have time to make a decision.
Davon Young gets a nice carry before being brought down by Robert Smith. He gets about 5 yards. Makes second down very reasonable for them at 2nd and 5 with under 3 minutes to go.
Still 2 timeouts left for the Warriors, so just under 3 minutes and 2 timeouts is plenty of time for their offense, especially at their field position.
Jones looking to move up the middle, but not much room as he's stopped by Eric Allison. Also the junior defensive back Ryan Ramsey stopping that one as well.
No yards on the play. Bring up 3rd down.
3rd and 5 at their own 49 for the Warriors. Up 10-0 over Oak Park here in our Detroit Free Press game of the week. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left of Marshall. Steps back to throw. Has time. That one is going to be caught by Adams. He gets brought down at the 35-yard line. He was looking for Bowens originally, but it went over his head. But Adams was there to make the catch, get the first down and more, and keep the drive alive.
16 yards on reception.
It was a 16-yard catch.
With a good reception, and the Warriors opting to not take their timeout yet. They're letting the clock run. And, maybe they feel that they can score, and they're not even going to need to use their other 2 timeouts. There's still a minute and a half to go. Maybe they feel they can make this march rather quickly.
High snap, ball's loose. Adams able to pick it up, and he's going to be brought down on the play. It looked like the linebacker DeMarcus Ford of the Knights had a chance to recover, as well as Alex Jones of the Knights, but instead the Warriors keep the ball, and with 1:15 to go, they'll have to use another timeout, as it's going to be 2nd down and 26.
Not what you were looking for after a nice 3rd down pass. You move the chains, time running out in the first half, and you were looking to score one before the end of the half. But another poor snap from the Warriors, and this time it's not able to capitalize into a 1st down completion. It ends up losing you 16 yards and making you take one of your final 2 timeouts of the half.
Hey, Tyler, just take that to the locker room and walk.
Both of these teams talking things over. They want to be ready for these last few weeks of the season before playoff time comes around. As the Warriors look to get back out onto the field.
And still a minute 15, a timeout left for the Warriors, but your Oak Park, this is a great opportunity to get a stop, and you weren't able to score as you would have really liked to have done with your last offensive possession before the end of the half, but you get a stop now, and your offense starts on the field to start the 3rd quarter.
Timeout on the field.
Looks like Oak Park called a timeout just before the snap. Didn't like what you saw there as he called timeout just before the snap.
Second timeout.
So the Warriors, like we mentioned earlier, didn't play last week. We're supposed to play Lake Orion, but we're unable to play.
And that would have been, a big challenge for Southfield A&T. Lake Orion, a very good team. They beat up on Oak Park earlier in the year as they beat the Knights 38-6 back on September 25th. So that would have been a major challenge for Southfield A&T, and unfortunately they weren't able to play due to the COVID outbreak amid their program, but thankfully, luckily, they are here now and are able to play without an outbreak continuing and spreading, and now they're here and playing a good football game here tonight on both sides of the field, especially on the defensive end.
Waiting for the clock to reset. It's supposed to be at 1:15. It's at 1:12 right now. So it's 2nd down and 26. Ball spotted at the 46-yard line in Oak Park territory. Marshall in the shotgun. Steps back to throw deep. Has time. Able to get a long pass. That one is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Bowens as he was near the end zone.
Yeah, that one too far out in front, and when Marshall has aired it out, that's typically been the case. Pass thrown too far out in front of him, and that's something that he's going to get better at. Again, you have to remember with a player like him, he's a freshman. This is not easy coming out, and this is his third varsity level football game coming out here and competing against juniors and seniors. So that's something that obviously he has to improve upon, but right there, just putting it too far out in front of Bowens, and he's unable to haul it in.
So third down and long at the 46. Going to run it on third down. Adams gets stopped right at the line. James Blaylock makes the tackle.
Fourth down.
And we'll see if Oak Park uses their final timeout or not. The clock is running right now at 53 seconds.
Yeah, unless they just want to go into the halftime and take their break, make their adjustments that they see fit. I would have expected them to take the timeout, but the clock going to continue to run, and the Warriors are going to drain it as much as they can.
We're going to have Anthony Davis this time. This one is going to be a fake. Looking to throw it over the Bowens. And we have a flag down. Looked like it was going to be pass interference call maybe on Amari Harris. On fourth and long. And we'll see what the call is. If it's going to be pass interference or defensive holding. Clock's at 25 seconds. And that was Anthony Davis.
Yeah, and that's just not what you wanted if you are Oak Park.
And will be a pass interference, but it's not an automatic first down. It's going to move the ball up 15 yards, though. So it would make it fourth down and 11.
A lot more manageable fourth down. This is where you're comfortable, Obviously, it was a fake on that fourth down right there, but this is where you can put the offense out there comfortably in a position to let them make a play.
Timeout on the field, Oak Park. Their final timeout of the half.
It looked like the Warriors called the timeout. It was the referees pointed at their side. 25 seconds to go. And a fourth and 26, decided to fake it, try to throw a deep pass. As Davis was looking over the Bowens, pass interference was called, and it's still fourth down, but the Warriors will have to talk over what they want to do here.
Yeah, and obviously this is where, the offense stays out on the field and takes their shot, and Oak Park called that timeout because they want to make sure that they're fully prepared for whatever the Warriors are going to throw at them, and maybe that's why they waited until the Warriors got on the field and got in their formation before calling the timeout, as they wanted to see what they were planning to do, preparing to come out with, and then call the timeout, talk it over, prepare for that, and see if they are calling the Warriors bluff, and maybe they'll come out in a different formation.
So the ball spotted at the 31-yard line after the penalty. Still fourth down. And Marshall and the offense will head back out on the field looking to go for it. With 25 seconds to go, up 10-0. Looking to add on to this lead. Fourth down. Changing the play at the line. He does have a timeout to work with. Letting the play clock run down as much as possible. Gets it off in time. Throws. That one's caught by Davis. He gets past the 10-yard line. He gets brought down inside the 10 at about the 5. 18 seconds.
Davis on the reception.
And they're going to take the timeout right now at 18 seconds. The Warriors will talk it over.
On a big conversion there, and an opportunity now with still 18 seconds left to take a couple shots at the end zone, and if you're unable to, you get to bring out the field goal unit.
And Oak Park looking to talk things over after the fake punt resulted in a pass interference, and then that fourth down play inside the 10.
Well, the problem is the pass interference on the fourth down, where the Warriors went for the fake, and you pick up a clumsy, undisciplined penalty, and instead of it being 4th and 26, and an incredibly tough pass that wasn't going to be completed, you make it a 4th and 11, and now the Warriors are able to convert on it, and they're knocking on the door of the end zone with 18 seconds left in the half.
Ball spotted at the 7. Marshall looking to his left, looking for Davis. Too far, out of bounds. Clock stops at 15 seconds.
Anthony Davis bring up second down.
I think you have to throw it at this point because you don't want to decide to run the ball, get brought down short. Then the clock will continue to run. Then you will have to scramble to spike the ball.
Oh yeah, this is absolutely a passing situation for the Warriors.
So it's second down and goal at the 7-yard line. Marshall looks to throw, looking to his right. Gonna decide to run with it. Looking to go into the end zone. He said he got through the plane. Yes, he did. A quarterback keeper touchdown for Isaiah Marshall.
Well, yeah, and it looked like he touched the pylon too to cap it off, and the Warriors able to get another score here late in the half, and you know they already had the momentum in this game, but they really have it now after another score. And Oak Park just making too many mistakes, penalties, and whatnot down the stretch of this half that make that score possible.
The extra point by Arnold is good with 9 seconds to go. It's 17-0 in favor of the Warriors over the Knights. Marshall was able to plow it through the end zone, cross through the plane for a 7-yard touchdown run. And that's probably like the first time we saw him run with the football. You know how good of an arm he has, but he's a dual threat guy, and he can able to keep the ball for himself and get a few yards.
Yeah, and there's talk that he's been nursing an injury, so probably not something that he's been too comfortable doing, and it's not something he's really wanting to do right now, but there decides, you know, hey, we need to score the football before the half. They haven't seen me run the football, so they're not really going to be expecting it, and right there keeps it to himself and is able to just barely get into the end zone to get the 6 points for the Warriors.
Oak Park will have to be talking things over in the second half of looking to play better defensively, because Southfield A&T has been able to capitalize on a lot of mistakes. Going back to the touch-up by Adams earlier in the half, where a few plays ago, Marshall was able to pick up the ball back in the end zone almost for a safety and able to get it out for a first down, and then a few plays later let up a score. So that's something Oak Park will have to talk things over in the second half. Another fair catch was called, this time by the Knights. That was Bawana Miller, the junior. So at 9 seconds, we'll see what they want to do. They do get the ball first, like we mentioned, in the second half.
Yeah, we'll see if Oak Park wants to take a shot down the field. No timeouts left for either side.
Want to look to the ends of the field. Just to give yourself a chance To see how far Burnley can throw it with 9 seconds if he decides to. And he is stopped at the line of scrimmage, and a late flag is thrown with 2 seconds left.
That's all they doing. They ain't doing nothing else but just blitzing. They shooting everything.
And what an excellent tackle by the Warriors.
They ain't got no defense. They're sitting in the house.
I'm not sure why you commit that penalty and why not just go into the half. But we've definitely seen some undisciplined plays in this game from both sides. That play right there is certainly another candidate.
And that is going to end the first half. Looked like the Knights were supposed to get a play because it was called on a defense with 2 seconds. But instead, they're going to let the clock run out. And it's going to be halftime here at Oak Park. It is a 17-0 lead in favor of the Southfield A&T Warriors over the Oak Park Knights.
Yeah, Alex, good football by the Warriors, and the offense able to get a late score from the quarterback scramble from Marshall, and all momentum on their side as one of these programs is going to get their first win of the year here today. And right now, the Warriors sit in the driver's seat.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what both sides come out with here in the second half. Oak Park looking to learn from their mistakes and able to get back into this one. The Warriors looking to add on to this lead they have right now. They are a very talented team as well and have a lot to look forward to here in the second half of the season. So before we take a break, I just want to mention our Diamond Elite sponsor is Detroit Public Schools Community District. Our children need to be in school as every school day counts for their academic, social, and emotional development. Detroit Public Schools Community District is preparing students for their rise and has implemented a safe return with options to meet their needs of our families, including face-to-face learning and online learning at home or in a learning center. The DBSCD team has been working hard to serve families during this difficult time and remains focused on providing outstanding academic, arts, and athletic programs and exceptional student education services. Please join us in thanking DPSCD teachers and staff for preparing for your child's rise to build a stronger Detroit. Enroll your child at Detroit Public Schools Community District by visiting DetroitK12.org or calling 313-240-4377. Remember, when students rise, we all rise. So it is a 17-0 lead for the Warriors over the Knights. Here at halftime, we'll take a break and we'll be back right here on the Detroit Free Press Game of the Week. And welcome back, everybody, to Oak Park High School. It is a 17-0 lead for the Southfield A&T Warriors over the Oak Park Knights here in our Detroit Free Press game of the week. Alex Johnson and Aaron Johnson with you on the call here tonight. The Warriors able to take advantage of a lot of mistakes that Oak Park has made over the course of this game, and the Knights have talked it over at the halftime break, looking to come out here and get some momentum here in the second half.
Yeah, they absolutely need to, Alex. You know, having the opportunity to start with the ball first, certainly a great way to perhaps start the half. Offense, able to get out on the field and try to make amends for a slow first half. But, you know, you could hear it from the Warriors when they were coming off the field after their halftime warm-ups. 0-0, 0-0. That's how they're playing this game, and they're not going to take the foot off the pedal either.
A good start to the second half on the return by Bawana Miller. He caught it at about the 35-yard line, moved it up to the 48 in Oak Park territory. So that's where the Knights will begin to start their first drive of the second half. I'd like to see the offense get some points on the board. Only 19 points total over their first 3 games. Only 6 in week 2 and then 13 last week against Oxford. Burnley. So over at the line, 3 wide receivers to the left. And going to hand it off on the first play to Prim. And you would like to see Prim get some more carries in the second half, able to get some room. Want to be able to create some space for him to open up, to make those big runs.
Yeah, and that's going to start with the offensive line blocking, creating gaps, giving time for Prim to get going, move his feet, and get downhill. You know, that's where it starts for the Oak Park offense. The offensive line has to do their job and provide time for the backfield to make plays.
Quick pass over to Amari Harris. He gets past midfield before he gets brought down at the Warrior 48.
Pick up 2 yards on the play. I'll bring up third down at the 47-yard line.
So it's going to be third down. The Warrior 47-yard line. Going to be 3rd and 5. A minute into the second half. Burnley back. And the shotgun. Army moves up to the backfield. Burnley under pressure. Throws it away. Flag is thrown. Pass is incomplete, out of the hands. That time by Darrell Oliver Mims. But there's a flag in the back. And it's going to be a holding call. And we'll see if this penalty is going to be declined or it's going to be a 10-yard penalty back for a 3rd and long. We'll see. So they are going to move the ball back. It's going to be 3rd down and 15. They will accept the penalty.
10-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
So 3rd down and 15.
3rd down and 20 at the 38-yard line.
Going to be a 2 running back set here for the Knights.
Burnley sets back to throw. Throws it deep downfield. No one's back there.
Pass is incomplete.
He's looking through either Harris or Oliver Mims, but
And that was probably one of the better jobs we've seen by the offensive line of Oak Park, facing a 5-man rush. They held their ground, but Burnley just, I'm not sure who he was targeting there because he was way out in front of all of his receivers down the field.
the Knights will send this one away. Jackson will punt it away. Army back for the Warriors at the 30. Look at the snap. This one's out to the 30, going to take a bounce all the way to the 15, inside at the 13-yard line. As Watson puts a hand on it. And the Warriors will start there for their first possession of the second half with 9:57 to go.
And we'll see, we heard the Warriors coming off the field after the halftime warm-up, 0-0, 0-0. Well, how is that going to affect their offensive philosophy here in the third and into the fourth quarter? Are they going to look to throw the football a lot? Are they going to look to extend the lead that way? Or are they going to put it on the ground and try to milk clock?
They're going to hand it off to Adams. He gets brought down for maybe a yard, if that. Glenny Cross, the defensive back, a talented player in this Oak Park defensive line, makes the tackle.
Pick up a 1 yard on the play. Ends up second down.
Cross known for his excellent footwork and able to make defensive stops. Many Division I offers for him as well, including Arizona State and Central Michigan. Marshall on second down and 9. Was looking to go one way, going to decide to go the other way. Was looking for Bowens, but out of bounds, incomplete over his head. And it's going to bring up third down. Oak Park looking to put some pressure on Marshall. They struggled with that a bit in the first half.
Yeah, and right there, not a a blitz by any sense of the means from Oak Park, but still able to put pressure and force Marshall just to kind of get rid of it out of bounds. And you have to give props to this Oak Park defense, because outside of that run and really that last drive of the half for the Warriors, the defense did a pretty solid job.
Third down and 9. Marshall looking to his left. Bowens has it. Breaks through a tackler. Stays on. He's going to the 40. Has space before he gets brought down at the 40-yard line. He gets tackled by Joshua Flake and DeMarcus Ford. Huge gain of about 26, and it's a first down for Southfield A&T.
Well, and that's been the difference in this game on the offensive end. These third and fourth down conversions have been bread and butter for Southfield A&T. They've done an incredible job on third and fourth down converting on big passes. They've just done an incredible job, and obviously the defense tipped their cap to them for their performance in this one, with the offense under pressure has shined.
First down, Adams looked to stay on, but not able to. He gets brought down by Jalen Stevens. Stevens made some key plays in the first half for Oak Park.
Second and 10 at the 37-yard line.
So under 8 minutes to go here in this third quarter. It's a 17-0 lead for the Warriors over the Knights. Marshall throws to Davis. Davis wants to stay on, but making the tackle, getting to his legs, was the senior defensive back, Emmanuel Hall. Was able to bring him down.
Yeah, and a good tackle by Hall there, just to wrap and hold on to the legs.
At the 42-yard line.
Is that would have been, a chance for some big yards there for Anthony Davis, but grabbed the legs and secured them, just holding them from breaking free, and a good tackle there.
So 3rd and 6 coming up for Marshall. 7 and 11 to go here in this third quarter. He's in the shotgun formation. He has 2 wide receivers on each side. Steps back to throw. Pressure coming for the Knights. And that one is going to be short, looking for Bowens. But a flag is thrown late at the end of the play. And we'll see what this is.
Come on, run!
Looked like Oak Park made a stop on 3rd down.
There wasn't no pass interference on that ball. Come on, run!
And they're going to call a defensive holding on the Knights.
Holding on defense.
And another flag after the play.
Another penalty flag on the play.
Look like they're going to call this one on the defensive back, Jalen Mines, the senior, for unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Not happy with the defensive holding call that was made. Mines known as a defensive leader on this team.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with the call there, and well, he made it rather clear. And you know, unfortunately, you can disagree with a call, but you can't talk to a ref like that. And you know, you're gonna get an unsportsmanlike. Whether you're talking to a ref, you're talking to the opposing team, creating an issue. It's unfortunate that the penalty was called, whether you agree with it or not. You just kind of have to live with it and move on, especially as the player. Let your coach do the talking.
Ball's moved up to the 33-yard line in Oak Park territory. And it's going to be a first down again. Marshall throws, has Bowens. He gets brought down on the play by Flake. Nice reception by Bowens. He's able to make those kind of plays, able to use his speed, and able to gain yardage after the catch. They tend to look to Army a lot, but Bowens has been able to make some key catches as well.
He's gotten a lot of targets today, not been all catches, but Marshall has made him a clear top target in this game. Right there, Bowens capitalizing on the opportunity.
First down again. Handed off to Javin Jones. Looks to plow through the defensive line of Oak Park. Robert Smith making the tackle. Good gain of 8 on the play, and it looks like we have an injury on the field. Walking off to the sidelines is Javin Jones after the tackle.
Official timeout.
And now they're going to bring in Cameron Smith, the junior. The Warriors who are coming into this game without their number 1 running back. That's the senior Raekwon Lee.
Yeah, not having him, certainly a loss that you would have expected would have played a bigger factor in this game. But, all of their running backs, and, they've given the ball to the wide receivers in the backfield a little bit. They've kind of picked it up in the absence of Lee, who's a Ball State commit, at a 19-yard touchdown run in week 1, a guy that they are very comfortable handing the ball off to. And you thought not having him on the field would make the offense look a little bit lighter out there, but that's not been the case for the Warriors. And the other guys that have stepped up in the backfield have done a wonderful job. And that's part of the reason why it's 17-0 in favor of the Warriors is that backfield offense. I mean, you got to talk about that touchdown run from Young. Now, obviously, he's a wide receiver, but he's also getting some reps this week with Lee not in the lineup and not playing. And he's capitalized on it. So all these other guys that they've been able to plug in and, kind of by community taking some of the workload that Lee would tend to usually have, they've done a good job and played a big factor in this one, even without him.
Yeah, absolutely. They have that mentality of next man up. They're able to, when one of the key players goes down, the next one has to step in. Just like to mention, tonight's Detroit Free Press Game of the Week is presented by Detroit Public Schools Community District. Every school day counts for our children's academic, social, and emotional development. Detroit Public Schools Community District is preparing students for their rise and is safely providing face-to-face learning and online learning at home or in a learning center. Enroll today. Visit DetroitK12.org or call 313-240-4377. Remember, when students rise, we all rise. Second down and 1 at the 9-yard line for Marshall. He's going to throw, looking it into the end zone. That one is in and out of the hands in the back. That was Anthony Davis. Jalen Mines was back there, as well as Joshua Flake.
Second down.
And it's going to bring up third down and 1 at the 9-yard line with 5:18 to go. The Warriors are looking to add on to this lead they have.
And this I'm anticipating a run here from the Warriors. They brought in a couple bigger bodies, took out a couple of receivers. They're packing the line.
Adams has it. Looks like he has the first down. Maybe 1 or 2 yards afterwards. But that's still enough. First and goal with 5:07 to go. And the ball is spotted at the 6-yard line.
Took about 3 yards on the play, resulting in a Warriors first down.
Marshall looking over to the sideline.
6-yard line.
Yeah, this is going to be first and goal from the 6.
There's 1 touchdown run already. That was before the half. 1 man in the back. Adams has it. He gets brought down at the helmet, and a flag is thrown to Marcus Ford. Got his hand there on the helmet.
And 3 flags went flying.
Like, you can bring him down, but you can't do it at the helmet.
Yeah. Adams is a little shaken up, and he's getting looked at by a couple members of the Warriors sideline as we await the official move the ball up.
It's going to be at the 3. Like, he used his hand to grab his helmet. It wasn't a helmet to helmet. As Adams walks off to the sideline. Had that huge touchdown run in the second quarter. So they're going to replay first down, but it's at the 3. They're going to put in Robert Army. And with 4:29 to go, timeout on the field, and it looks like we have an injured Knight out there. We'll see who that is.
Yeah, you don't have a great angle right now.
Looking at some updates from around the state. 14-0 lead for Clarkson over Lake Orion late in the second quarter. In that game, looking at some other scores as well around the area. For you at that time, we got good games going on. It's a 14-3 lead. Detroit Catholic Central over Orchard Lake. St. Mary's actually 21-3. Detroit Catholic Central. Sterling Heights, Stevenson, Romeo tied at 7 apiece. Dearborn Forts and Livonia Churchill also tied at 7. So we're still looking on who's down for Oak Park.
Yeah, he's getting tended to right now. Looks like they're trying to get him up.
Him to walk off.
He's getting some help. No, it looks like he's able to walk off on his own power, which is always a good sign.
It looks
now
like
gonna get some help.
It looks like it's DeMarcus Ford walking off the field.
Yeah, that's the junior linebacker.
So 4:29 to go. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 3. For the Warriors. Marshall in the goal line stance. Has Army in the back. Look at the throw to his right. Has Young in the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Southfield A&T Warriors. Davon Young able to hold on to it, and the Warriors add on to their lead.
And I don't think anyone was expecting a pass on 1st and 3 from the goal line, but Marshall quickly drops back and throws it, and it's a touchdown for the Warriors.
4:09 remaining. As Arnold looking to attempt another extra point. Also converted a 21-yard field goal. As that one is away, and that one is no good. He missed it to the left. So it's 23-0 Warriors over the Knights with 4:09 remaining.
And Southfield has really controlled this game from the beginning. You know, kind of started on the opening drive when they marched down the field and kicked the field goal. And it was a slow first quarter after that, but a second quarter where they were able to put two more scores up on the board. And now coming out here in the third quarter, the offense able to put up another 6, and the defense continues to really do their job. Been a nice complete performance on both ends of the field for the Warriors.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done their job tonight. They really want to get a win, get themselves some momentum with the season winding down. And they're going to have a lot of tough competition come playoff time. I was looking at it, what district they'll be in. They'll be in the same district as West Bloomfield. They played West Bloomfield tough and only lost by 2 points. So if they're able to get themselves in a position to get back to the district final, wherever if they are a chance to play West Bloomfield in the district round, they could really get some momentum on their side. Short kick this time by Arnold. This one's going to bounce. Able to get some yards on the play was Miller. He gets brought down at the 35.
Ball is returned out by Miller.
Oak Park coming out back out onto the field. They'll be in Division II this year. There'll be some teams in their district that they'll be looking forward to playing. They'll be in the district with a lot of talented teams. University of Detroit Jesuit and Grosse Pointe South, just to name a few.
Well, and this is not, kind of the situation that Oak Park thought that they were going to be in. And I graduated a fair amount of seniors heading into this year, and I was certainly dealing with some injuries and all of that, but you did not expect for them to be 0-3 coming into this game today.
Burnley's pass nearly intercepted by Army as he goes down to the ground. He was looking for Jackson on that play, and now Army.
Injury timeout on the field.
He was trying to make that play, had an interception last week, or 2 weeks ago rather. Looking to have another one here, but he's down on the turf. He's getting looked at right now.
Yeah, it looks like he's holding his knee. That looks to be his right knee.
Yeah. He is a guy that this team relies on both sides of the field, like we mentioned. Very talented player. But in some pain right now. Hopefully he is all right. Looks to come off the field with some help.
certainly don't want to ever see a player have to come off the field due to an injury, so hopefully he's quick recovery. Hopefully we'll be able to see him back in this contest tonight, but certainly wishing him the best.
And he's a guy, like we mentioned, would be a loss for this team. But just going over to the sideline right now. Maybe he can get back out on the field.
And he's walking under his own power, not hopping or anything. So that's a good sign for sure. But certainly, hope it's a quick turnaround. He's feeling better sooner rather than later.
So 2nd down and 10 at the 36-yard line. Burnley, he's going to hand it off. Flag on the field. Prim has it. He gets brought down on the play by a couple of defenders. Banks was on at that time.
Well, the flags have really, really mounted up in this game, and every other down, it seems like the whistle's blowing, the laundry's flying, and the clock is stopping because of a penalty.
In-yard penalty.
So a penalty of 10 yards will move them back.
Mays first down at the 25-yard line.
The 26.
First and 21.
So it's going to be 2nd and 20 with under 4 minutes to go. 23-0 is the score in favor of the Warriors. Burnley gets the snap off, looking over to his right. Incomplete. Looking for Harris that time. Now it's going to bring a 3rd and long. Oak Park was looking to just move the ball down the field. They've had some good plays and unable to get anything on the board.
Well, yeah, and Burnley's really struggled to find his receivers in this one, and I feel, it's largely due to not having a lot of time in the pocket to make a throw, but he's also had some plays where there's been time and he's just missed his guys.
3rd down and long, looks to his left. Pass is going to be complete to Keyshawn Jackson, but it's going to be 4th down.
Keyshawn Jackson on reception.
That's a good gain of 10. Back at the original line of scrimmage.
Ball is completed out to the 36-yard line.
3:28 remaining.
4th and 10 at the 36.
Jackson will send this one away. They're going to have Young back to return this time instead of Army. They are going to send it away. Nice kick. It's going to bounce. Looked like it was touched. Looked like maybe a handout. They didn't realize it. Devin Buskin. But they're going to say he did not, because if he would have, it would have been a live ball. Looked like it maybe got on his fingertips.
Nonetheless, the Warriors going to start with it at the 36.
Yeah, they were right there. Thought they just let the ball roll because they were not sure. But the referees did not signal it, so it's going to be Warrior possession. Hand off to Adams. Breaks through. Stays on before he gets brought down on the play. Excellent tackle by James Blaylock. And also the junior defensive back, Charles Gillespie. was scrambling his way. He was going one way, then turned around to go the other way. And he got 3 or 4 yards out of it.
40-yard line.
So second down at 6 at the 40. Clock's at 2:38 to go in the third. It's a 23-0 advantage for the Warriors. And prior to the snap, the play's called. And looks like it's going to be a false start call, as the official by the Warrior sideline called it. So it's going to be second and 11.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of penalties in our first time here at Oak Park between the Knights and West Bloomfield. A lot of penalties added up in that game, and they really added up. And they were somewhat of an issue in the first half, but really here in the second half, here in this third quarter, a lot of penalties called. They've just continued to add up on both sides in this one.
You got to be able to just discipline yourself and just being able to just make the right plays and not make those kind of mistakes, because come playoff time, everything matters. Marshall back, has time, looking to throw, and that one is going to be incomplete, but another flag is thrown on Ford. Looked like Bowens was the intended receiver. And 156, we have another penalty marker down, and it will be pass interference.
Interference on the defense.
Terrible call, ref. Horrible.
Ball's moved up 15 yards.
Horrible.
As the ball will be placed at the 50 for a first down and 10.
First and 10 Warriors at the 50-yard line.
Marshall, 3 wide receivers to the right, steps back. Going to hand it off on a pitch to Adams. Circles around, dances around before a couple of defenders stop him. That was Glennie Cross, the defensive back.
Pick up a 1-yard on the play.
We're going to say he gained a yard, so it's going to be second and 9 at the Knights' 49 with 90 seconds to go in the third. Warriors break out of the huddle. Marshall staying calm as he is in a shotgun formation. Same set as before, steps back to throw. Looking to his left side, and that one is going to be out of the hands of Davon Young. Great job breaking up that play that time was Amari Harris and Jalen Mines of Oak Park. We also give credit to Glennie Cross on that play. He was in there.
And I'm surprised with the decision to throw the ball there, but you know, this is a team that has stayed aggressive throughout this game, and you know, they have thrown the ball a lot here in the third quarter. Was maybe expecting them to kind of keep it on the ground, but head coach Timothy Conley, the seasoned coach, 16 season as a high school football head coach, was previously at Troy, has remained very aggressive in this game.
That pass is going to be complete from Marshall that time over to Bowens near the 35-yard line. This is going to be enough for the first down. They're going to say he's out at the 36. So good gain of 13. Clock set a minute.
13 yards from the reception results in a Southfield first down.
And the Warriors
at the 36-yard line.
Done extremely well. They're able to keep this up their last 2 games of the regular season. They want to make a deep run in the playoffs. As Marshall steps back, looks over to his left, has Adams at the 35, has some space again, flag down in the back. He gets brought down near the 10, looks like he's down at the 11. But the officials say, hold on, there's laundry on the field.
And the chains aren't moving up, so this may be coming back.
And it's going to be a holding call on the Warriors. Adams is just able to read the defense really well. We saw that in the first half with his 66-yard touchdown run. Now here on a short pass to Marshall, even though it's not going to count, but he was able to create some space, move up down the field.
Well, he's very athletic, he's very fast, and he uses his quick footwork to his advantage. You know, I mean, obviously we saw that on the 66-yard touchdown run, and you know, he's had some other nice runs, some other receptions in this game, and you know, that's probably his best attribute is his quick footwork. And right there shows it again, creating some space.
And that is going to end the third quarter of play, and it's going to be a 23-0 lead for the Southfield A&T Warriors over the Oak Park Knights as we head to the final quarter of play.
Southfield A&T marching down the field before that last penalty. They're still trying to tack on more points before the final whistle blows. And they'll have the ball to start the fourth quarter, so they'll continue on their march down the field.
Look to add more on to this lead. Just want to mention this broadcast is brought to you by the Detroit Free Press, your flagship news and information source for sports in Michigan. The Free Press has launched a new digital subscription model which gives high school sports fans exclusive access to Mick McKay's weekly columns, rankings, and predictions. Your support will help the Free Press stream high school football games all season long. Subscribe today at freep.com for our latest promotional offer. Fourth quarter about to get underway in just a second.
Good to see number 25 for the Knights back out on the field. That's the linebacker, junior linebacker, DeMarcus Ford. He got shaken up on the last score for the Warriors. He was shaken up near the end zone on that drive and had to come off the field, but good to see him back out there for Oak Park.
So first down and 10 at the 35-yard line. We get the fourth quarter as both teams change sides. Stepping back to throw is Marshall. Looking over deep down the field. There's another penalty marker down. They're going to say the pass is caught by Davon Young. And another one is thrown afterwards. Is on the play that time for the Knights. Looks like Glennie Cross on that play. So two penalty markers are down inside the 10.
Let's see what the calls are.
A defensive holding, and unsportsmanlike on the Warriors. And we'll see where the ball spotted if they're going to offset.
We have a holding on the defense. Personal foul on the offense.
So they're going to move the ball up 5 yards. Ball's at the 27-yard line. Going to be first and 10. Young's going to keep it. Able to get down. Looks like the Wildcat formation, but Young able to keep it that time.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet today from Southfield, so a bit of a different look, and we got another penalty.
3 flags in the last 2 plays. And another unsportsmanlike call on the Warriors. And it looked like the referee was referring to someone that he is gone from the game. We'll see who it is, because you saw it on the field. So the ball's going to move back to the 31-yard line.
30-yard line.
So second down and 17 at the 30-yard line. Marshall back out on the field. Four wide receivers, two in the middle, and we have a timeout on the field, and it's going to be the Warriors with 11 and 23 to go here in this game.
I'm not sure what they saw there that they didn't like, but we're going to take a timeout here, reset and reconfigure. As you know, they have their eyes on the end zone here at least one more time before this contest is over.
I think the teams talking things over, and the players talking over with the coaches. There's 4 updates around the state. Big game in Macomb County. Chippewa Valley up 14-0 over Grosse Pointe South at halftime. Detroit Catholic Central up on Orchard Lake St. Mary's 24-10. Sterling Heights, Stevenson, and Romeo are tied at 7 apiece at halftime. Livonia Churchill up 14-7 over Dearborn Fortson. And Rochester Hills Stony Creek taking on their rival Rochester Adams this evening. They have a 16-3 advantage as the third quarter in that game is about to begin. So a lot of good action in week 4, the 2020 MHSAA football season. Both of these teams still have a lot to play for, with the playoffs starting, like we mentioned, at the end of October.
And everyone gets in this year, you know, so all it takes is for your team to get hot at the right time, and your season can change in the blink of an eye.
Ball is loose on the play. Adams picked it up, able to recover it, lost getting the ball on the snap. And that's another opportunity that the Knights could have had. And we've seen that with the Knights, unfortunately.
6 yards on the play.
When the Warriors make a mistake like that at the line of scrimmage, either a loose ball on the snap or a ball going into the backfield, almost in the back of the end zone like we saw in the first half. Those are just the plays that the teams have to be able to read on.
Well, and it's something that Southfield A&T has to clean up. They've had, some of those plays in the backfield, bad snaps, and those are going to come back to cost you now. In a game like this, where you're up 23-0, it's a little bit easier to work with.
Well, to make the play in the end zone, getting past through one defender by Marshall is Anthony Davis. He catches it for a touchdown.
And that was probably the best pass of the night by Marshall, and in a one-on-one matchup, Anthony Davis wins it and brings it in for another touchdown.
10 and 17 remaining. And Arnold looking to kick the extra point. He had the one miss on his last point after. At this time, it is good. So it is a 30-0 advantage for the Warriors over the Knights of Oak Park.
Oak Park, 0.
And the Warriors feeling very happy on the sideline. Played 2 tough games to start the season, losing 24-17 to Clarkston in week 1. Then a heartbreaker 17-15 to West Bloomfield in week 2. But for this team, they have a lot of talent like we've seen on the field today, and looking to get back on track for them as they break it out and look to kick it off away to the Knights.
And this is, we talked about it before the game. A win for either of these programs today could really kind of change the momentum of their season, change the trajectory of it. And Southfield A&T has come out here and put on a very convincing effort in this game on both sides of the field. The defense did an excellent job with the line, doing a great job putting pressure on the backfield and the defensive backs, making plays of their own throughout the day. And the offense, after a slow first quarter, has really kind of slowly but surely gotten into a rhythm. And all of a sudden, we're looking at a 30-0 lead.
Jackson has some space on the return. He picked it up inside the 5, still going. Gets past the kicker. He's at the 30, the 20, 15, 10, 5. And it's a touchdown for Oak Park. They needed that. 98-yard return by Keyshawn Jackson.
And there is a Warrior down back on the opposite side of the field at the 20-yard line, getting tended to. There's now about 6 members of the staff heading over to take a look at him. That was number 13 for Southfield A&T.
That's Detrell Ruspress, the junior. He will come off the field. Now Mari Harris will kick the extra point. They got some energy on that kick return. Jackson was winning the ball, maybe let it go for a touchback, but he picked it up at about the 2-yard line, and he returned it all the way.
He got an excellent jump on the ball and just took off, and not one Warrior was able to catch up to him as he was able to break it to the end zone.
Extra point by Harris is no good. That one was just a little short. And it's going to be a 30-6 lead now for the Warriors over the Knights. And we'll see if Oak Park wants to attempt an onside kick to get the ball back with under 10 minutes to go.
And that's the kind of big play that Oak Park has needed throughout this game, is they're finally able to put points up on the board with under 10 minutes left to play in the contest. It took too long and at too late of a point in the game, but they're finally able to score, and that's got to feel very good for them.
They're going to get back out onto the field. There's not a lot of time to work with. There's under 10 minutes. But you need to score more to get back into the game. I think the Warriors will attempt to see if the Knights are going to perform the onside kick. Just get some momentum back to the Knights. They'll have to work quickly, though. It's going to be Jalen Mines going to take the kickoff. Only one person back. That's Adams. He's going to line drive kick this one out of bounds, so the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. So the defense will go back out there.
Warriors at the 35-yard line.
Warriors coming back out onto the field after the touchdown reception by Anthony Davis from Isaiah Marshall. Marshall with 3 touchdowns today, 2 in the air and 1 on the ground.
He's been very impressive, and it's seemingly gotten better as the game has gone on. I mean, his last throw, a dime to the left side of the end zone.
We're going to do the Wildcat formation again. This time taking it is the sophomore Mason Ballard. He gets the ball for the first time tonight. Gain of 4. Warrior down on the field.
That's number 51.
Able to get off the field quickly. Able to stay on his own power with 9:46 remaining. Scores 30-6 in favor of the Warriors over the Knights. You're in our Detroit Free Press Game of the Week. Glad to have you with us here tonight in week 4 of the high school football season.
And it's interesting, Southfield A&T staying in that kind of Wildcat set.
So second down at 6, ball's placed at the 39, and a flag is down.
Penalty flag on the offense.
Looks like legal formation
Remains second down.
because nobody jumped. So the ball is back at the 34 for a 2nd and 11 with under 9 minutes to go. Mason Ballard. Calls for it, gonna keep it. Looking to the right at the 35, has some room. He gets brought down, ball goes out of bounds by Jalen Mines. And Mines just collided with Ballard as he's down near the Southfield A&T bench.
And that was a big hit, and Mime certainly took it.
Now Ballard is down. You're just running through, and then Mines with his size and strength just coming at you. Trying to make the play, trying to make the tackle. The ball came loose, but it went out of bounds, so it's going to be placed where the ball came out. So 8:31 remaining here in this ball game. Warriors lead 30-6 over the Oak Park Knights here in this one. And he's still down on the ground.
That was not a pretty hit.
And that was just really hard and really fast. He's still down with his coaches over on the sideline. Looks to get back up. He'll walk off the field. Hopefully he is okay.
Well, certainly wish him the best. Absolutely glad to see him be able to get up and walk off the field.
They're going to mark the ball at the 39-yard line, their own 39. So it's going to be third down and 6 from that spot. Marshall going to keep it. Has room, gets past the first down and more, and he steps out of bounds. And more laundry on the field right at the 49.
Are you surprised? I mean, it's been just a ridiculous amount of flags in this second half. Both teams, undisciplined plays, One team, you're up, you should just be trying to run the clock and get out of here. The other team, you're losing, but you were losing by 30, you're still down 24 points here. You're not in a position to make unsportsmanlike conducts and personal fouls. You have to play more disciplined football than that.
Ball's going to be going back. They're going to mark it at the 34-yard line. So they're going to get the first down since it came after the play, so it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 34.
Down at the 34-yard line.
8:13 to go. Marshall going to hand it off this time to Cameron Smith. Gets his first carry of the night.
Smith on the carry.
Smith, the junior,
Also run on play. He's up second down.
primarily a linebacker for this Warrior team.
Second down and 11.
But you get late in the game and you're you're going to give some other guys some other touches and see what they can do. And you saw that with Ballard before he had to come off the field because of an injury. You're seeing it here now with Smith.
7:26 to go. He gets it again, looking to move his way before he gets brought down by Robert Smith
Smith on the carry.
and Jalen Stevens as well.
And Smith is a bigger body, and it's tough to bring him down. It took a couple nights to do so there.
Third down and
Ball's at the 39 for a 3rd and 5. Marshall in the back. And it looks like the Knights jump. And that's going to be enough for a first down. We'll see.
5-yard penalty.
That should move the chains.
It will be first down and 10 at the 44-yard line with 6:43 to go. So Marshall looking over, gets it off. Smith again gets to midfield. He gets brought down in the process on the play. Nice tackle by Alex Jones. Clock is at 6:15.
8 yards on the carry.
Been a real nice night for football. Obviously, the game starting at 6 o'clock. Sun was still up. And been a little bit of a longer game, but it really hasn't cooled down all too much. A little bit of a breeze, but a beautiful night for some high school football.
It was 73 at kickoff. Smith goes down to the 45, gets enough for the first down.
And still in the 70s, so we'll take that at this time of the year. Anytime you can get it.
It's been between the 50s and 60s last week, and then earlier this week it was in the upper 60s. Five and a half to go. This Warrior team has done extremely well for the most part. Still looking to finish strong here this one. High snap, but gets it to Smith. Has room, but he gets brought down, but a nice run anyway by Smith for a first down. And Smith could be a reliable piece in the backfield as an alternative option when they get Raekwon Lee back.
Well, it's nice to know that you have a lot of different options. You know, we've seen the Warriors today give it to a couple of their wide receivers. Here they're giving it to a guy that primarily plays on the defensive end as a linebacker, and he's getting nice chunks of yards and first downs. He's moving the chains.
And with 4:49 to go, Oak Park will talk things over with this timeout. Tonight's Detroit Free Press Game of the Week is presented by Detroit Public Schools Community District. Every school day counts for our children's academic, social, and emotional development. Detroit Public Schools Community District is preparing students for their rise. They are simply providing face-to-face learning and online learning at home or in a learning center. Enroll today. Visit DetroitK12.org or call 313-240-4377. Remember, when students rise, we all rise. 4:49 to play here in this final quarter. It's a 30-6 advantage for the Southfield A&T Warriors over the Oak Park Knights here in our Detroit Free Press Game of the Week. Other scores around the state here tonight. Walled Lake Western up 14-11 over South Lyon, as well as some other games as well. West Bloomfield leading Oxford 31-0 in the second half. West Bloomfield coming off an overtime loss to Clarkston last week. It was a 24-21 final.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
And another timeout is called. Looked like Oak Park had 12 men on the field. And they already have to use 2 timeouts before a play.
And, you know, you take a timeout and you come out of the timeout and you have 12 men on the field. How does that happen? You know, how do you take a timeout where you get to literally get in the huddle and game plan exactly what you need to do when you send an extra guy out on the field? I mean, that's a mistake. It's just one of those things that confuses you when you're watching this game. Too many penalties and too many kind of plays in situations like that where that's something you can control. You know, the ref isn't gonna, make a bad call and say, oh, you got 12 men on the field and you had 11. That's something that you directly control. If you put 12 men on the field, that's on you. And committing those kind of mistakes and those kind of situations, you gotta burn another timeout. It's not what you want to do.
The Knights have gone through a tough stretch this season. They got 2 more games before the regular season ends. They'll be back here at home next week versus Birmingham Groves, and then they'll go out to Clarkston for the final week of the season. And an offsides is called on the Knights. First, they have to call a timeout for 12 men on the field, and after that timeout, it's an offsides.
Fundamentals. It's fundamental at this point, and these penalties are really added up, and more so now for Oak Park than Southfield A&T, but just a killer in this game.
Smith, good run. He gets brought down at the end there by Stevens.
Smith on the carry.
Looking at what the Warriors' schedule will look like, they'll go back home to play Rochester Hill Stony Creek next week, and then they'll go out to Oxford for their last game of the season before the playoffs begin. Four and 11 to go. Ball's now at the 19-yard line for a first down and 10. Smith gets brought down at the line of scrimmage by Ford. And it's going to be no gain on the play. We'll look to talk things over with the clock at 3:38.
And Southfield A&T, you know, they've really, I mean, they were kind of showing that their 0-2 record isn't what they are. You know, that loss, these two losses, Clarkson and West Bloomfield, two very good programs. West Bloomfield, a top program in the state, you lose by just 2 points. You knew that coming into this game, they were better than what their record said, and they've come out here tonight and, well, they've really showed that that's the case as they're on their way to picking up their first win, and with plenty of time left in the season, a couple games left before the playoffs to continue to build things and continue to build momentum and figure out the kinks of the offense and the defense. This is a strong performance that bodes well for the forward goingness of this team and this program.
Yeah, absolutely. They could play West Bloomfield again in the districts, like I mentioned earlier. They're in the same district as them, and also another top team in their district, Sterling Heights Stevenson. So they could really make a run if they're able to knock off one of those teams. And if they face off one against those two teams, they're able to get a win over them after the tough schedule they've had. That could give them a lot of momentum, maybe get even a deep run into the playoffs.
Yeah, and this team looks very capable of doing that. You know, I get it. It's tough to look at an 0-2 team and take them seriously, but what they did today has shown that they're very capable on both ends of the field. They have a complete defense, and the offense, well, it's going to only get better for them with a freshman quarterback, and he's only gotten better in this game. And each time he steps out onto that field, it's going to get easier for him. He's going to feel more comfortable, and that bodes well for this team.
Arnold's kick, he's kicking it from 31 yards away, and it is good. It's going to be 33-6. Clock is supposed to stop.
1 minute and 29 seconds.
1:29 to go in this one after the field goal by Arnold.
33.
Oak Park, like I mentioned, they'll be in Division II again this season. I mentioned a few teams could play in the district round. The top teams, Grosse Pointe South, University of Detroit Jesuit, as well as some others in that district.
Yeah, and there's no doubt that they have some work to do. It doesn't help. They graduated a lot of seniors and have dealt with some injuries to key players, and that's certainly, those things add up and hurt you, but you still have to play better than they did today, and they really have this season. This is a team and a program capable of much more.
And they were leading at halftime 13-0 over Oxford on the road, and then unable to close it out in the second half. That would have given them some energy coming into this game. And that one off one of the players of the Knights.
It ricocheted off the Knights and ricocheted off of the kicker for the Southfield A&T, Kyle Arnold. It was it's just kind of a back and forth right there.
Yeah, that was Chakari Gibson, the senior defensive back, taking that one. Oak Park looking to come out here with 1:25 to go. They've always done well over the last few years. We mentioned earlier in the season how they wanted to build on after losing in the pre-districts to Farmington last year, and had some good runs in 2017 and 18. They still got some time left in their season to work things out before the playoffs. It's Killian Reed with the carry. I think it's a gain of 4. Ball spotted at the Warrior 49-yard line. 1:10 remaining. 33-6 lead for Southfield A&T as they look to pick up their first win on the season. Clock continues to run. Burnley steps back, wants to throw, stop for a second, still running, and he's out of bounds. Abdul Jabbar put a lot of pressure on that one. Also the junior linebacker, Aaron Davis.
Brings up third down.
And now facing a third down here. And, you know, it doesn't look like Oak Park just wants to take a knee and wrap this one up. They're trying to throw the ball. They want to score the football. You know, they think it's important to kind of play this game the rest of the way through, and no matter what the score says.
They're getting it off to Reed again. Able to move through. Wants to get the first down, maybe a yard short. Clock is at 31 seconds.
Reed on the carry.
They're going to say 4th down and 2 at the 45-yard line. Clock is at 22 seconds. Want to just get it down the field into the end zone. With the clock at 12 seconds, now at 10. Get it off to Reed, has a first down, going to continue to run. He goes down with 3 seconds.
Reed on the carry.
Clock stopped at 2.
First down.
And they're just going to let the clock run out, and that is going to be the ball game. It's a 33-6 victory for the Southfield A&T Warriors over the Oak Park Knights here in our Detroit Free Press Game of the Week.
Yeah, nice win for Southfield A&T. A complete performance on both ends of the field, and momentum swinging in their favor after an 0-2 start to the season. A nice performance by freshman quarterback Isaiah Marshall, and got some great production out of Darnell Adams and Davion Young, Jeffrey Bones as wide receivers, and really just a great performance all around, including the defense. They made some great plays as well. So a lot to feel good about if you're Southfield A&T as you can move on into the next upcoming weeks of their season.
Yeah, absolutely. Oak Park will look to talk things over as they want to get ready for the playoffs in a few weeks, as they will talk things over and get ready for their next week's game. So that's going to do it for us here tonight at Oak Park. Our final score of this one is the Southfield A&T Warriors picking up a 33-6 win over the Oak Park Knights. On behalf of everyone here at the Detroit Free Press, and on behalf of my partner Aaron Johnson, I'm Alex Johnson. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's Detroit Free Press Game of the Week, and we'll see you next time right here on the Detroit Free Press. Good night, everyone, from Oak Park.